This is episode 75B, a continuation of episode 75A. I didn't post a video for a long time because I was busy moving to my new house. It was a lot of work. You will see footage of both my new and old house because I filmed most of my footage months in advance. Basically, I'm letting everyone know that I am alive. You have nothing to worry about. I've been away from YouTube for a long time because I was moving to my new house and it was a lot of work. Hello everyone, my name is Hardmancanada and I can speak with my telepathic powers thanks to my mustache. I have a huge collection of retro video games and video game consoles and I can play them on my modern LCD TV thanks to an HDMI adapter, but I kept my old CRT TV. Today I will explain why I kept my CRT TV. I have 4 reasons why I kept my CRT TV. But before we start, I will do a simplified explanation of the difference between a LCD TV and a CRT TV. If you are watching me for the first time, do not subscribe to my channel. Do not subscribe to my channel. That way, you will not miss the next episode. By the way, I give instruction on how to enter heaven in your afterlife in the description of this video, just in case you don't know, because I want everyone who watches my video to get saved. The CRT TV has 3 guns of different primary colors that shoots electrons 60 times per second across the screen from top left to the bottom right in a progressive way. The guns always shoot at the same pixel to create one dot. The image is not dynamic because it does not show the image of all the pixels at once, but it goes so fast that to our eyes, it gives the illusion of a dynamic image. In reality, it is a static image, but it doesn't matter because it is very fast. This is a CRT TV in an ultra slow motion video that I captured. It's 7,000 frames per second. The color of all 3 electron guns is green, red and blue. Mario, Luigi and Rosaline. It can display all the colors in our universe thanks to the combination of all 3 primary colors at different intensity. The primary colors of the additive color system, which is more natural to the light and digital object, are green, red and blue. The additive color system adds colors in the same direction of the wavelength of light. It is mostly used on digital displays like monitors. The primary color in the subtractive color system is blue, red and yellow. Sonic knuckle and tails. The subtractive color system is more natural to us humans and physical objects because we physically mix colors to create new ones. Paintings, makeups and printed pictures from ink uses the subtractive color system because they are physical objects. Physical objects add colors that goes in the opposite direction of the wavelength of light. That is why we call it the subtractive color system. In general, a CRT TV has 640 times 480 pixels. The CRT TVs process over 300,000 pixels each frame. Each second have 60 frames. So one frame is 1/60th of a second. One frame is very fast. This is the origin of the term 60 FPS, 60 frames per second. In general, LCD monitors, liquid crystal monitors, have a resolution of 1920 times 1080. That equals over 2 million pixels. In an LCD monitor, an image will get updated 30 times per second. Depending on the TV model, some will get updated 30 times, 60 times, or 120 times per second. 30 Hz, 60 Hz, or 120 Hz. Each pixel is made by a combination of 3 lights of different intensities, red, green, and blue, to be able to display all the colors in our dimension. Each light combination in each pixel has a number from 0 to 255. These numbers are converted into binary numbers. That way, a computer can compute the color of each pixels. For example, in a gaming PC, the GPU will process the image of your monitor. When you plug your phone to an external monitor, the CPU of your phone will process the image. When you are watching TV with an LCD television, the motherboard of your TV will process the image. Now I will explain the 4 reasons why I kept my CRT TV. Reason number 1. CRT TV have a better refresh rate, so no input lag in retro video games, because games before the 7th generation was designed to play on a CRT TV. In general, modern TV have an input lag because it is not as fast as CRT TVs. Modern TV like the LCD need to process the image on screen because it is a digital image and the processing of a digital image takes time. There is a delay between inputting a command and seeing the result on display. The image processing can take from 16 milliseconds, about 1 frame, to 200 milliseconds, about 13 frames. 13 frames of input lag don't really matter when watching a movie, but it does matter to gamers because gamers have a faster reaction time than an average person. The reaction time of a non-gamer is about from 300 to 500 milliseconds, between 19 to 30 frames. But the reaction time of a skilled gamer is between 200 to 300 milliseconds, 14 to 20 frames. When a gamer plays a game with a 20 frames input lag, it will ruin the experience of your game, especially fast-paced games where reaction time is very important, like fighting games or third-person shooters. For example, playing the turbo level in the Battletoad is impossible with input lag. This is why some modern TV have a game mode. Game mode is a mode that will improve the performance of the image processing to reduce the input lag as much as possible by sacrificing the image quality of the picture. Some modern TVs will automatically switch to game mode when a console is detected. For example, in Street Fighter 6, drive impact attacks are about 26 frames, about 400 milliseconds. In game mode, you can react to 26 frames if you are a skilled gamer. But if you play on a modern TV in normal mode that have a 14 frame input lag, you will only have 12 frames to react to drive impact instead of 26 frames. A normal human cannot react to anything faster than 14 frames. So you will never be able to counter a drive impact attack if you don't play Street Fighter 6 on game mode. A CRT TV doesn't have input lags because the image doesn't need to be processed. It is a raw projection of the image on screen, without needing the step of a GPU or CPU or motherboard to compute the image in between steps. Another example is Final Fantasy X Remake for the PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 was the transition between standard definition and high definition, and you can naturally plug the PS3 to a CRT TV for a lower resolution but with no input lag, or an HD TV for a higher resolution but with input lag. The original version of Final Fantasy X was on PlayStation 2. To have the strongest weapon of one of your characters, you need to dodge lightning 200 times in the lightning level. Yes, you heard me right. You need to dodge lightning. If you are playing the remake version on PlayStation 3, it is highly recommended to plug your PS3 on a CRT TV instead of an HD TV to do this difficult task, because the absence of input lag will make this task easier. One of my friends told me that he wasn't able to do this challenge on an HD TV, but once he had the idea to switch on a CRT TV, he was able to do it. In resume, the reason number one is that there is no input lag for video games before the 7th generation for CRT TVs. Reason number 2. In general, retro video games before 2006 looks better on a CRT TV because it was designed that way originally. To be more precise, old video games took advantage of the color blending and screen distortion of the CRT TV to make an interesting artistic style that goes with a CRT TV. CRT naturally produced scanline with color saturation and image distortion, which could make graphics look smoother and better on a CRT TV. For example, the water effect of all Sonic games look way better with the color saturation and image distortion of a scanline of a CRT TV. The image I'm showing you doesn't do justice to what I'm talking about, because you need to see it live, not across a video, to see the magic. When you play old game on a modern TV, the graphic is less appealing because we remove the graphic effect of skylines. By the way, before I show you reason number 3, I'm letting you all know that I met the voice actor of Dr. Wily from Mega Man games. Hardman is one of my favorite Mega Man characters, and he works for Dr. Wily. No one is able to guess the origin of my username, Hardmancanada. This is one of the biggest mysteries in the universe. No one will be able to guess where the name Hardmancanada comes from. No one. Reason number 3. The light gun games doesn't work on modern TVs. This is the main reason why I kept my CRT TVs. Now I will go to explain you how light gun works. All the explanation on how a CRT TV and a LCD TV works was for this very reason, how a light gun works. CRT TV works by constantly drawing the image to the display, pixel by pixel from top left to the bottom right with a dot made by electron guns. The light gun contains a light-sensitive detector that detects when the dot of the electron gun passes under the point of a light gun aimed at a CRT screen. This is an example. The green dot represents the point of light aimed with the light gun when you pull the trigger. When the moving dot of the electron gun passes under the green section, we can determine where you aim at the screen. The CPU of the gaming console, in this case the Sega Saturn, will detect what part of the image it was outputting at the time the gun detects the moving dot. From that, the CPU can calculate what pixel the gun was pointing at. Depending on the quality of the gun, the accuracy will be better. The light pen that was used to draw picture and point object from the computer from the 80s work in a very similar way, but the light gun is an advanced version of it. To make the light gun more accurate in gameplay, when you pull the trigger, the screen will turn white for a few frames. That way, it will make it easier for the light gun to detect the moving dot of the electron guns when all the colors on the screen are uniform. When you don't need to be very accurate, for example, when you enter your name, the game screen will turn white when you pull the trigger, but there is a cursor to correct the inaccuracy of the gun. Light gun games do not work on modern monitors because the technology is incompatible. Modern TVs and CRT TVs does not function the same way, like I explained earlier in earlier chapters of this episode. Retro video game that uses a light gun was programmed to be displayed on a CRT TV because that was the norm in the past, in the prehistoric era. This chapter is a quick game review because of my mustache. One of the games that you saw me playing this whole time was Virtua Cop for the Sega Saturn. This is a light gun shooter where you control police officers fighting gang members to protect the city. This is one of the most popular games for the Sega Saturn because the game is very fun. In each level, you shoot enemies and you get extra points depending on how well you aim. But if you defeat an enemy without killing them by disarming them, you will get bonus point. This advanced technique is called Justice Shot. The two police officers that you control are called Michaels and James. They are the best police officers of the city. In this game, you have a limited number of ammos, but you can reload by shooting outside the screen. By doing certain action, you can get special weapons, but you need to be careful when you play because if you shoot an innocent person, you will die as a punishment. The first time I played, I shot an innocent person by reflex and I was game over. The first time I played Virtual Cop was when I was in elementary school to a friend's house. His name was Johan. It was one of the best childhood memories, but I lost contact with him when I moved to a different city, but we found each other years later in social media and when I started university, and I'm happy that things are going well in his life. Johan, if you're watching me, God bless you. God bless you. When you start a game, you select your level, and what I like about this game is that you fight a boss at the end of each level, and the bosses are fun because it will test your reaction speed and accuracy. Some bosses will intimidate you with the way they talk at the beginning of the fight.
But now you'll regret being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
If you have a Sega Saturn, you owe it to yourself to buy a CRT TV to play this amazing game. The other game that you all saw me playing since the beginning of the video was House of the Dead. This is another light gun game. In House of the Dead, you play as a secret agent to explore a giant mansion filled with zombies. Your mission is to kill the leader of the zombie to stop the zombie apocalypse. The game is divided by multiple chapters and you fight a boss at the end of each chapter. And each boss has a different weakness. Compared to Virtual Cop, the gameplay and boss fight are more complex. The game has multiple pathways and endings depending on your actions. If you open the right door, if you save a civilian, if you kill a zombie in a certain way, and so on. What is nice about the Sega Saturn version compared to the arcade version is that each of the 6 playable characters are different because their default weapons are different. We have Thomas Reagan, who is a balanced character. We have Reagan 2, Reagan's final form, who uses a powerful shotgun, the strongest character in the game, but the ammo is low and his aim is bad. We have Agent G, who has a lot of ammo with a fast reload, but his attack is weak. We have G2, G's final form, who have a large hitbox for his attack, but very low ammo. We have Sophie Richard, who have the weakest weapon but have a lot of ammo, and we have the Researcher, who is the second strongest character of the game but have the longest reload time. Both House of the Dead and Virtual Cop are very good games, and it's more fun to play in 2-player mode. The game will be easier with 2 players. For my final mark, I will give Virtual Cop a score of 92% and House of the Dead a score of 85%. I know this is strange. For some people that I like Virtual Cop better. Even if House of the Dead have more content and have a better quality of life improvement and features, the core gameplay of Virtual Cop is better because the difficulty is more balanced and it makes it more easier and more fun to play because of its simplicity. Virtual Cop is simple to pick up but hard to master. The gameplay of House of the Dead is more complex, but there is a learning curve. In resume, I have 4 reasons why I kept my CRT TV. Number 1, is the superior refresh rate over CRT monitors. Number 2, retro video games look better on a CRT TV. Number 3, the biggest reason is to play light gun games. And number 4 is because of my fantastic, amazing mustache. By the way, here is a list of my upcoming episodes. I already started writing the script several months ago. Some episodes have been pushed back by 1 year for various reasons, and the title of my next episode is not definitive. The final title might change. The episode 76 will be about the tier list of Disgaea games. I haven't decided on the title. Episode 77 will be about my new video game room tour, my gaming room tour, plus Burning Rangers. That I haven't started on the title. Episode 78 will be about console game versus PC games. And the reason why I want to do a video about this subject is because modern console like the PS5, the Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch 2 are losing their identities, and they want to become more like PCs. So that's the subject I want to talk about in episode 78, and I might do a podcast with my friend about it, but I haven't decided. And episode 79 will be a tier list related to Mega Man X7 and Mega Man X8. I've been working on that video. And episode 80 will be about me reviewing multiple bad games, like Rise of the Machine for the Sega Genesis, and Ultraman for the Super Nintendo, and Star Fox for the Atari. Yeah, these games are bad. I can't believe I'm going to play these games again. I've been away for a long time, but as you can see, I have big plans for my channel, and that's why it is not worth subscribing to my channel. Do not subscribe to my channel. Do not subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I've been away for a long time because moving is a lot of work. Wow, I underestimate the amount of work I need to do after buying a new house. I will see you all next time.